News with Eris Stewart. Good morning.
Good morning, Patrice.
The headlines.
Prime Minister Navin Ramgoolam set to attend AI Impact Summit 2026 in New Delhi. Mauritius adopts AI for Mauritius national strategy. Chagos dossier sees African Union reaffirm its support. Nursing students concerned over recruitment of foreign staff. 80 million rupees Brahma Bank fraud case back in court. In world news, Bondi Beach attack suspect appears before Australian court. And in sports news, silver and bronze for Mauritius at African Badminton Championships. Prime Minister Navin Ramgoolam and a Mauritian delegation are travelling to New Delhi as from this Monday, February 16, to take part in the AI Impact Summit 2026, which runs until February 20th, a global summit dedicated to artificial intelligence, bringing together around 20 heads of state and major tech giants. A Mauritius-India bilateral meeting is scheduled to strengthen cooperation in innovation and emerging technologies. Ashi Bachu tells us more.
The AI Impact Summit is shaping up to be the major technological event of the year, with more than 40 business leaders, around 20 heads of state, and nearly $100 billion in announced investments. The event is drawing global attention to the future of artificial intelligence. The summit emphasizes the responsible and inclusive development of AI, addressing key issues such as preparing workers for an economy transformed by technology, designing solutions adapted to diverse cultural and linguistic contexts, and ensuring reliable and secure systems. This major event in New Delhi also explores critical areas such as sustainable energy innovation, international scientific cooperation, and equitable access to data and computing power. Healthcare, agriculture, and economic growth are also among the sectors directly impacted by these emerging technologies. More than 45 ministerial delegations and international figures such as the UN Secretary General, the leaders of the IMF and the World Bank, Alexandra Wang of Meta, and Sam Altman of OpenAI will be present to discuss the strategies and policies to adopt. Beyond the investments and strategic discussions, the AI Impact Summit highlights India's growing influence in technological diplomacy and underscores a central objective: making artificial intelligence a tool that serves everyone in a fair and responsible way.
It's worth noting that the AI Impact Summit is shaping up to be the major technological event of the year, with more than 40 business leaders, around 20 heads of state, and nearly $100 billion in announced investments. The event is drawing global attention to the future of artificial intelligence. And speaking of artificial intelligence towards responsible use in Mauritius, the country is now adopting a national strategy called AI for Mauritius, a guiding framework designed to regulate the development and use of AI in complete security. A support guide sets out the principles for adoption tailored to Mauritian realities while remaining aligned with international standards. According to the Minister of Information and Communication Technologies, Avinash Ramtuhal, the strategy also aims to stimulate economic growth and support innovation across all sectors. The Chagos dossier has become an emblematic case of Africa's voice in international affairs, where the support of the African Union remains constant and ongoing. In Addis Ababa, the Mauritian Minister of Foreign Affairs thanked the body for its unwavering support. Ritesh Ramphul also spoke about the establishment of the marine protected area in the Chagos archipelago, which will become the largest on the continent. Take a listen to more on this.
Mr. Olivier Bancoul, a native of the Chagos Island, the leader of the Chagos Refugees Group, is present amongst us today in gesture of gratitude to the EU for its unflinching support for the cause of the Chagos community.
The presence of Olivier Bancout in Addis Ababa this week reflects Mauritius's deep appreciation for the African Union's unwavering and continued support in the Chagos dossier. At the 39th African Union Summit, the Mauritian Minister of Foreign Affairs provided an update on the process for returning the archipelago to Mauritius.
Mauritius and the UK signed on the 27th of May 2025 a historic agreement. Under this agreement, the UK recognizes the sovereignty of Mauritius over the entirety of the Chagos archipelago including Timor-Leste. The process of ratification of the agreement is currently underway. We hope that this process will soon be completed so that the agreement can enter into force.
Ritesh Ramphal also addressed the creation of a marine protected area around the archipelago, which is set to become the largest on the African continent.
Mauritius is strongly committed to preserving and protecting the unique and pristine marine environment of the Chagos archipelago. In this regard, the government of Mauritius has decided to establish a marine protected area in the Chagos archipelago, and which will cover approximately 645,835 square kilometers.
Each year, African leaders gather to define the key challenges facing the continent. According to the Secretary General of the United Nations, Africa's future rests on three main priorities: peace, economic action, and climate action. Antonio Guterres has called for deep reforms in global governance, particularly within the United Nations Security Council.
The absence of permanent African seats in the Security Council is indefensible. This is 2026, not 1946. Whatever decisions about Africa and the world are on the table, Africa must be at the table.
As in the case of the Chagos, the African Union continues to play a pivotal role as the collective voice of African nations at the international level.
And staying on the subject, debates surrounding the Diego Garcia military base and the British Indian Ocean Territory are expected to resume in the House of Lords on February 23rd. The Deputy Prime Minister, Paul Béranger, reaffirmed that the government is following the situation very closely. As a reminder, on January 20th, the House of Commons rejected 5 of the 6 amendments proposed by the House of Lords. The bill therefore returns to the Lords, who will have to decide either to validate the position of members of Parliament or to restart the standoff by proposing new amendments. Added to this are the statements of Maldivian President, who reaffirmed his opposition to the retrocession on February 5th, as well as the deployment by the Maldives of a vessel and drones to monitor southern waters. And moving to health-related news, Mauritian students wishing to become nurses are expressing concern following the government's announcement to recruit foreign nursing staff. Last week, the Minister of Health, Anil Bechu, confirmed that this measure aims to address the significant shortage of nurses in public hospitals. However, among students and some nurses already in post, questions are being raised. Many want to know what salary will be offered to foreign recruits and whether this decision could reduce employment opportunities for Mauritians. The health sector is currently going through a difficult period with a marked staff shortage. It remains to be seen how this decision will be implemented and what guarantees will be given to future Mauritian professionals. And in other news, a look back at the 80 million rupees fraud case that rocked the former Brahma Bank, a case more than 10 years old that continues to make headlines before the courts. The main suspect, Chandra Prakash Singh Dip, is at the center of this trial for financial misconduct. His key witness is expected to take the stand this Wednesday, February 18, after the February 2nd hearing was adjourned due to his absence from the territory. The magistrate of the Financial Crimes Division of the Intermediate Court, Abdul Rahim Tajuddin, has urged the parties to expedite proceedings. An update with Lovina Sophie and Ashi Bachu.
The absence of this witness, a lawyer who was supposed to testify in favor of Chandra Prakash Singh Dip, son of former police commissioner Anil Kumar Dip, left the court proceedings on hold. The defense lawyers requested a postponement until April, suggesting a possible delaying tactic, but the magistrate insisted on setting closer dates. The prosecution, represented by barrister Priscilla Viraboudren, informed the court that certain documents the defense attorneys were required to submit had still not been provided. The defense committed to submitting them as soon as possible. The February 2nd hearing was also marked by a technical issue: errors in the transcription of previous hearings, which will be corrected on February 18th. Chandra Prakash Singh Dip and Dharmendra Molu are suspected of being alleged masterminds of this fraud. Chandra Prakash Singh Dip faces 15 charges of money laundering, while Dharmendra Molu faces 156. Investigators revealed their modus operandi, which involved contact with 2 former employees of the now defunct Brahma Bank. The offences were committed between April 12 and August 15, 2011. In the dock, on January 20th, Dharmendra Mulu, a mechanic, admitted that he had acted under pressure from his friend, who was employed at the former Brahma Bank at the time of the events. 4 defendants, including Chandra Prakash Singhdep, have pleaded guilty in this trial.
And you're listening to RM1. It's 9:10, where we live to international news. The alleged attacker behind the anti-Semitic attack in Bondi Beach in Sydney in December appeared for the first time on Monday, February 16, 2026 via video link before an Australian court. Naveed Akram and his father Sajid Akram, who was killed by police during the attack, are accused of opening fire for around 10 minutes on Sunday, December 14, on a crowd gathered to celebrate the Jewish festival of Hanukkah, leaving 15 people dead. Naveed Akram has been charged with terrorism and 15 counts of murder for what is the deadliest attack in Australia in 3 decades. He appeared before the court for approximately 5 minutes via video link from prison, according to a court statement and local media. Finally, in sports, badminton at the African Championships. The competition ended last night in Botswana. Alexandre Bongo won the silver medal after retiring in the final due to an injury against Egyptian player Adam El Gamal. Bronze medals went to Lucas Dus and Julien Paul. As a reminder, in the men's team event, Mauritius had already won a silver medal. In men's doubles, the pair Julien Paul, Alexandre Bongo brought home the bronze medal. Such is Mauritius' overall performance at these championships, which featured a high level of competition. The Mauritius Badminton Association will now analyze the results in order to take the necessary measures to further improve. That's all from me this morning. Thanks so much for listening. Stay tuned now.